That's right. It's the Joes back again. Can you smell what the Joes are cooking? What's going on, Dave?
Hey, what's up, man? It feels good to be back, man. I feel home.
Yeah. Typically, I say that people missed us, but they really missed you. You know, I got some hate mail. I got people telling me they don't want to hear me
Oh,
ramble on
no.
for 10, 15 minutes. Not listening again to Dave comes back. You know, where's Dave? Apparently, you're the star of the show, man.
Yeah, man, look, it really felt like, back when you was a kid and your parents would be angry with you or whatever, you try to explain yourself, and they say, I don't want to hear it.
Right.
You had so much to say, you just couldn't say it. That's what I felt like this past week, man. I'm happy to be back, man. Talk about this, what's going on over here, man.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you back, and we want to say thank you to all the folks out there who came back and giving us a listen here. We appreciate your support. And we also want to thank everyone behind the scenes. We have a couple of people helping us push the videos and the podcast now. Mr. Lowry, I would call him our social media consultant at this point, and he's doing some great things for us. So we hope to really see some positive results. And we want to thank all of you, the folks who are not hoarding, who are not just keeping to themselves the slice of secret heaven and telling some other people about the show. We certainly do appreciate that. It has been a big help, and again, much appreciated. Again, you can always visit us on Instagram, Facebook, and be interactive with us here on YouTube. You can find us at the Average Joe's Fantasy Football Podcast, _ between each word on Instagram, and they're also on Facebook. Anyhow, man, Dave, how are you? I know you mentioned you was happy to be back. Are you feeling a little bit better from last week?
Yeah, I've actually been fighting whatever this is for a couple of months here now. It's just a little on and off. Some days are better than others, but I'm all right, living, fighting through it.
Good. And how's your fantasy been wrapping up here recently?
I was actually looking at it the other day, man. I'm about middle of the pack on all my leagues. Got first place in a couple, which is always fantastic.
Right.
And of course I've got the few where you're already looking to next year. You're just
on a 2020.
See what I can do.
Right. Yeah, I've been doing pretty good actually. A few weeks back, I know we've missed a couple of times going through it, but I went 9-1 about 3 weeks ago. Then I was 7-3, then 9-1 again. But this past week, man, was really rough. I went more like 6-4 or something like that. Not a good week for me, and I just kind of kicked myself in the butt. And we're gonna talk about a little bit of this here over the next couple of weeks. But I lost in one of the leagues that I really want to win, and I lost because I overthought. I tricked myself into believing that Mitch Trubisky for one game can resemble an NFL competent quarterback against Philadelphia's horrible pass-off defense, and he did not. He hurt me real bad because I put Matt Moore on the bench and I lost by 4 points. If I had put Matt Moore in, and I knew it. I said to myself, put Matt Moore in, just leave it alone. And I was like, well, he's going up against the Vikings. They're a little bit tougher. Mitch, he might pull that 3 or 4 touchdown game. Maybe some positive regression going to happen here. Nothing. Nada. No. So
I am what I am, Ollie.
He is.
I am what I am.
What he is. So he's sitting squarely on the bench, and I don't think he'll be a starting quarterback after this year. So we'll see. But anyhow, folks, we got a big show for you tonight. A lot of exciting news. Here. One thing I shared with you the other day, go check your local Food Line grocery stores. I went to Food Line the other day, and I found a regular size of Creamy Ranch habanero potato chips in there, and I bought 3 bags. 2 for me and 1 for Dave. Dave has one coming because he won the bet. 2 for me and 1 for Dave, and they must have finally gotten the memo. These are delicious chips. Why are we not sharing it with the world?
Right, yeah, it's about time, man, because like I said, when we very first time we talked about it, I had never even heard of this company at all, this Herd company. So, yeah, about just like you guys are starting to share with your friends.
Exactly.
When something is good, you share it.
You share it.
That's how
Pass it on.
It gets out there. Yeah.
That's right. So hers, obviously, they're listening to the podcast. They're hearing about everybody sharing with the podcast. Now they want to share the chips. I love it. I love it. I love it. Also, we got some exciting news with the show. We're going to be bringing on a third person here and there to help out with a segment. Is going to be bringing some deep analytics. We're really excited about it. Michael Devlin will kind of tell you a little bit more about him as we go on, but really respected fantasy footballer, and I can't wait to get him on here and bring us some analytics on a few different things. So that be on the lookout for that in the next couple of weeks. I think you guys will like that. So we're going to jump in. It's going to be a little bit of a longer show. I know we try to get you guys out of here in 30 minutes or so, but we're probably going to be more like 45 minutes tonight. Got a few things to catch up on. So we're going to go over our thoughts of the week. We got our trade targets, and we'll go over our starts and sits. So I have quite a few thoughts of the week, Dave. So I'm going to start this off because I probably will bracket you a couple times. Just some things I got to get off my chest, okay? So
go ahead. Therapy session.
Here we go. Exactly. This is really what the thoughts of the week. So there's this therapy session. I got to get it off. CMC is no doubt the cheat code, okay? I mean, he is just unfair to own in fantasy leagues, and it shouldn't be tolerated anymore, okay? I mean, like, you watch Dragon Ball Z, right? You've heard of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is like the Dragon Balls. He should be like the Dragon Balls. Okay, every 4 or 5 years, you get to collect them all, make one big wish, and then after the wish, they scatter across the galaxy, and it takes a little while for you to use them again. That's how you shouldn't be able to use him every week. He should be like every 3 or 4 games you can put him in because he's just killing it. He's killing it. Every time I play him, it's like 30 points, man. I don't know. It's not fair.
Yeah, he should be a privilege. It should be lucky to play him. And he's got to the point where it's almost like you don't even have to really worry about the rest of your lineup. I'll just put a couple sprinkle people in that can do just enough and let CMC
take me to the promised land. Yeah, I think I heard today on another podcast he was maybe like 30% of undefeated teams, something like that, have CMC on him. He has taken a lot of people to championships, and I have 0 shares. Not because I didn't believe in him, but because I just thought I had no clue he was. I mean, he's going for the record in total scrimmage yards this year, I do believe.
Yeah.
So he's really killing it. And then the news with Cam Newton only solidifies him even more as the focal point and the only point in the doggone offense. So. Man, yeah. Anyhow, I'll get off of that. You go ahead, man. What you got?
Well, I'm gonna get onto a little rant that I haven't been on for a couple weeks, and I promised some of the commenters, some of the listeners they commented on the YouTube video a couple of weeks back, and I told them I was gonna mention it because they thought I forgot about it. The Madden curse with Mr. Mahomes, man, he caught up to him.
Yeah.
I have not given up on it. I still believe it. I just hadn't said anything, but it came and got him for a couple of games, and we'll see how he comes back. I'm sure he'll come back strong and fine, but this just proves my point that it did get to him, and it hurt a couple of people that had him on the team.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. It may not be a whole curse anymore. It may be more like a Madden spell, but it's definitely still in effect, and I got to come around, man. Maybe paying it a little bit of attention now. He's been sidelined for a couple of weeks, and before that, he was even hurt with the ankle injury, and he just wasn't the same. So more than just missing a couple of weeks, he gave you a couple of weeks of non-Mahomesian kind of production, and it has hurt. And I was going to ask you a little bit about that. Do you consider yourself a good friend?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you take advantage of your friends?
I don't take advantage of my friends. I teach them lessons.
You teach them? Okay. No. Because I feel like I've been taken advantage of here. Because over the off season, I traded you, Russell Wilson, and a first round pick, and I think even a second round pick for Pat Mahomes. And I feel like you knew something was up here. I know the man, all that, but I mean, it's not so much Mahomes getting the Madden curse. It is then Also, Russell Wilson looking like freaking Ultraman out there.
He's been outrageous.
He's been nuts. The #1 quarterback in fantasy, and had I had him on my team, I'd probably be undefeated in that league. Maybe close to it. Pretty close to it. I lost 3 games. I probably maybe only lost 1 game, something like that. Because he went 5 touchdowns last weekend. I feel a little taken advantage of. So what I think you should do to rectify the situation is trade me back Russell Wilson at a discount, just to make just to prove you're a good friend.
Oh, that's what should happen.
That's what's supposed to happen.
I think the Austin Hooper trade made up for that. I think we're about even now.
No, that wasn't the same. Austin Hooper.
Let's not discuss getting over on people when we have you coming in not only telling me how bad my team is as if I don't already know, but then explaining to me why Tyreek Hill should leave and join your team. I don't think we're going to give the listeners the whole parameters.
Hey, man, I offered you a pretty good deal for him. I offered you 3 good players for Tyreek Hill, and you turned it down. But, I mean, you could have gotten Kenyon Drake. Okay, he's going to have a good season. The rest of the season, I think, is going to be all right. I think who else did I offer in there? Robert Woods or Tyler Boyd. There was a few things in there. It wasn't a bad.
Yeah,
it wasn't a bad offer.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
All right, man. Good. My second thing I want to talk about here is Darren Fells. Darren Fells. You and I have a joint league together where we, co-own a team, and he's maybe the pickup of the year for us because in that particular league it's so stretched out, so many teams. It's very hard to find things, and it almost makes up for you drafting Mixon without me being around. You almost made up for that because Mixon has tanked our team.
Oh yeah, Mixon has been awful. Man, he's been terrible. Also, the one pick that I make without you that I figured, man, this is a
easy layup, right?
Home run pick. Yeah, I can do this. Man, it's awful.
Yeah,
that looks good.
I'm not sure. We got to change the quarterback there. Maybe I can't see that, but I mean, maybe with more of a rookie quarterback, they'll go commit to the run some more.
Hopefully. Luckily, we got Ryan as well, so we're still good on our quarterback situation there. On to that point as well, we did win Trey Edmonds, and you were right. He actually does have the tight end designation.
Oh, good.
So I was able to put him there.
Good. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to matter a whole lot this week if Connor is back, but I mean, it's so stretched out in that league. We may have to do what we have to do. I don't think we have anybody else, so we'll just have to kind of see. All right, man, what else you got?
Yeah, I'm excited about the NFL schedule this weekend. I think this is the first time we've had a Sunday night and Monday night games that were actually worth watching instead of one being really good, the other one being We've got the Cowboys-Vikings on Sunday night, and then we got Seattle and 49ers Monday night.
Yeah, that Monday night game.
Well done, NFL. I applaud, and what do the people say when they're running for office? I approve.
Approve? Oh.
Scheduling, yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad scheduling. These are prime time games, so typically you want to have some good games on. And even really the Thursday night game coming up tomorrow is not a bad game for fantasy. You got Oakland versus the LA Chargers, so there's plenty of fantasy points to go around there. This is definitely not a stinker of a week. So, yeah, I like that as well. My third thing here is that, now, I do my fair share of blaming you for stuff. Mixing, picking the Mixon without me, that kind of stuff, taking advantage of your friend and, getting Russell Wilson and him having an all-star year kind of a thing, all that kind of stuff. But I also have to give you your props when props are due. So at the beginning of the season, I came to you, I had a trade offer for Aaron Jones. The guy wanted to give me Marlon Mack and a second-round pick for Aaron Jones. And at that point in time during the season, this is draft season, Marlon Mack and Aaron Jones were pretty neck and neck the way they were being valued. I mean, they were right there. Matter of fact, if you drafted them, it wouldn't have been anything to see Marlon Mack go ahead of Aaron Jones in the draft.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you said, Oliver, I think you may want to just hold on to Aaron Jones. And I kept him. And Aaron Jones is now he did have a great week last week, but he's now the running back 4 on the season. PPR, having a great year, and hopefully we don't see too many more things like last week, but he's been doing really great, saved my bacon a couple times in this year with huge games, bringing me back for wins. So I must applaud you, and I say thank you so much for that great advice.
Man, first I want to say you're welcome. Secondly, I want to say that I wish I would take my own advice because I actually did trade Aaron Jones earlier in the season.
For what?
I got Chris Carson. I can't remember what all the pieces were, but it involved sending Aaron Jones or receiving Chris Carson, which Carson hasn't been terrible.
That's not a bad start if you got another piece or two.
Yeah, but having these 40-point weeks that Aaron Jones really went crazy were the weeks that
you could have used it.
Yeah.
So it's that way.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Good. Got anything else?
Yeah, I actually want to send out a PSA, in my opinion, especially in Dynasty League, with the signing of Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
Usually we have times where if there's a big signing like a player like this, we say, okay, this guy's going to lose touch, this guy's going to lose touch.
Yeah.
Sell high while you can, yada, yada. I don't think you should sell, obviously not Tyler Lockett, but looking at DK, who I think this hurts the most, I don't think you sell DK Metcalf. And the reason is, yes, the Seahawks, this was for last week's podcast, but I'll bring it up. They're actually ranked 4th highest in run play percentage per game of all NFL teams. But we knew that coming in. And with Josh Gordon, we know this guy's history. Like, we know it's nothing for him to mess up and be out and suspended or what have you. Yeah. And then DK's right back at it. I haven't seen the contract parameters. I don't know how long Josh is signed or what have you. But I think in this situation, for those that are wondering, hey, I have DK. Do I move him now while the people are still looking at his past few games? I think you hold and hope through next year, especially in Dynasty. And redraft, I'm sure he's as good as go ahead and get rid of him. But in Dynasty, I think it's a hold.
Yeah. Certainly, yeah. I hold DK in one of my leagues. Oh gosh, just got an update here through Sleeper. They're looking at possibly putting Sterling Shepard on IR. God.
On IR, yeah, I saw that earlier, man. And that goes. You want another IR spot now?
Yes, now I need 7 additional. Now I need 7 additional. Folks, in one league, it's insane. My entire bench. I don't know if I could field a team, man. This is ridiculous. And I spent the first round pick getting him because he was in a crush position, man. The beginning of the year, there was no Golden Tate. He was the number 1 for New York.
Yeah.
God, man. All right. Anyhow, DK. Yeah, I have some DK, a couple of DK shares, and I was disappointed to hear because it's been pretty fantasy viable for the entire year. It hasn't been great, absolutely. But you could put him in there and get 10 points. And he had a great game last week, and now you got Josh Gordon coming in here and muddling up the whole situation. I really hope they continue to develop DK. I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about it. But, yeah, I would hold on to DK, see how he does. I wouldn't, drop him or trade him off. You never know. Because all he needs, he's that kind of guy, all he needs is 1 or 2 good targets a game.
Absolutely.
And he can have a really good day. But I guess we'll see. All right, man. Unless you got anything else, I'm going to hold a couple of my thoughts of the week for next week, and we can move on to trade targets.
I got one last one that I feel like should be talked about this week, and it's just a question. We don't even really have to stay on it too long. If you're coming in right now, most leagues are getting to their trade deadline, whether it be this week or last week or next week, whatever. If you are a contender and you're looking on the waiver wire and you see, it's real shallow, things like that. Antonio Brown is a free agent.
Yeah.
With you and we heard the Seahawks, they looked into Antonio Brown, they passed when they got Josh Gordon. But you still got a couple teams that are interested. You got a couple teams that need a receiver. Do you pick up AB and hold him if you're a contender with the possibility of if a team does sign him for their playoff push, it's going to be a fantastic playoff push on your own? Or do you say, look, too much trouble, forget about it, I'll leave him.
It all depends
I'll
on
bite
your
the
team.
bullet.
Yeah, it all depends on your team, and your bench spots and how much space you have. So everyone's going to be a little bit different. In general, if you have someone you can drop pretty easily and not going to affect your team one way or the other, sure, why not go ahead and pick them up? I am in a league where it's a couple of shallow benches, where you got maybe like 6 or 7, oh, sorry, maybe 8 or 9 starters, and maybe just 6 or 7 bench spots. In those leagues, those bench spots are gold. I mean, you can't have people sitting around that's not doing anything. Maybe a high-end handcuff, but someone who may not even play for the rest of the season, no, I'm not picking up Antonio Brown. But in a dynasty league, where I got, I don't know, whoever.
20 bench spots.
Yeah, I got somebody like, I can't even think of anybody off. Trey Burton.
Tim Patrick.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, drop him and see if you can get maybe a couple games out of AB this year. If not, next year he'll probably be back if there's no real trouble to come out of his legal situation. So, yeah, it just kind of depends on the situation. Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and jump into trade targets. I'm going to let you go ahead and knock this one out because I did trade targets last week on the solo show. So I'm going to let you go ahead and start off and knock a couple out, and I do have one I want to talk about.
Great. Okay, I actually have 3, and what I kind of did a different spin. First, I was thinking, what are some bigger name trade targets to go out there that aren't really performing? But then as I went through, I was like, I'm going to go through some guys that aren't really talked about. I'm going to go through some cheaper trade targets I think you can get. My first one on the list is D.D. Westbrook.
Yeah.
I think with DJ Chark, how great and fantastic he's been, which he has been, not taking anything away from him. But the hype around D.D. Westbrook when the league started was the fact that he had all this rapport with Nick Foles. Nick Foles is coming back. Yes, I know he's been hurt. They haven't been having the reps in practice, things of that nature. I don't think it's going to take that long for, if anything, Nick Foles to look back at D.D. In Nick Foles' first game, he had 5 completions for 75 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown just so happened to go to D.D. Westbrook. So that's his guy. I think that especially for a cheap target, somebody I believe you can buy really low, especially with him being injured. I think that's a good guy to go after going into your playoff run.
Yeah. And I think I don't think there's going to be too much of a difference or a fall off from Minshew to Nick Foles. There's been a lot of chatter about how good overall Minshew has been and should he lose his job. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been great. He's been fine. He's been decent. He's been good. But they paid Nick Foles to be the starter. They did. They paid him some money. So, yes, if I got $20 million wrapped up on a quarterback per year, and unless you're balling out of your mind to the point where I just cannot put you on the bench, this is a Pat Mahomes, Alex Smith situation. Then no, I'm putting the guy that I put money in on the field. So I don't think there's going to be any drop off. I have a quick question because there's a name that surfaced up here today, and I heard another podcaster actually talk about this guy, and he's not somebody that I'm done with. It just didn't happen. But they're saying he may have a resurgence. What about Keelan Cole? How are you feeling about him, if anything at all?
Oh my gosh! Now I love Keelan Cole. Man, I have kind of just backed off, and I think it's just because of how hard I was on, like how much I was on that train.
Yeah.
I've kind of abruptly come to a stop, and I would have to see it again to get me excited. And I for one am off. Out of that offense, it's looking like DJ Chark and D.D. Westbrook, more D.D. Westbrook for me. I'm off of Cole.
Okay.
Cole and Chris Conley around the same for me.
And even though Cole had a decent game, I think 5 catches for 70 last week, and he caught a touchdown a couple of weeks ago. So I mean, it's not been transparent. I mean, he's been there a little bit. There's still no.
And the worry for me is Keelan was just starting to get on a roll and starting to get reps with Gardner. At the same time, Dede was hurt, so Keelan was playing a little more. It's just a lot of with the changes coming in, and if Dede gets healthy and all that, it's just hard for me. And then, like I said, I was on the trail. I was running. I was the one pulling the horn. That was me. I was pulling that. We coming through.
You were pushing the train. The train was trying to stop. You were like, no, we're gonna do this.
Everybody was getting off. I was like, no, y'all ain't getting off.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully things will turn around because I really like Keelan as well. He made a couple of ridiculous catches a year ago or so, and I really like him myself. So good deal. Yeah. Well, a couple things I want to mention before I let you go on with yours. I did talk about Zach Ertz and Mike Williams last week as trade targets, buy low candidates that you could trade for. Yeah. I mentioned in the podcast where Mike Williams is on pace for 114 targets. He was averaging something like 17 yards per catch, something that I think seems almost ridiculous, 17 yards per catch. And your window for, I guess I'm kind of patting myself in the back, possibly your window on buying low for each of these guys just closed last week as they both had pretty good weeks. Mike Williams ended up with 111 yards in his best fantasy day, 18 fantasy points. I still think he has bigger days ahead, so you may still better get him a little bit cheap. But Zach Ertz, that door slammed shut. 9 receptions, 103 yards, and a touchdown. I don't know, but as the resident Philadelphia Eagles fan, I do want to ask some questions about this because just today it looks like they signed Matthews.
Yeah, he's back.
Back to the Eagles, and he does not seem like the receiver they need. They need that speedy, take the top off the defense, 9-ball, post kind of a guy to open up the middle of the field, and he doesn't seem like that kind of a player to me. How do you think he fits into the offense?
Well, right now, yes, you're correct. We need somebody to take top off the defense, but first and foremost, we need receivers that can catch. That's just been our issue.
That helps. So, that doesn't hurt.
You would think it was strange, but when you get somebody in and they actually do their job that they're supposed to do, it makes the organization run better. It's right. Crazy, but that's what happens. So, when I saw the Jordan Matthews signing, I was just like, all right, he's here again. But if he's going to come in and whether he catches some balls, whether he lights fire under the guys that we already have that aren't catching balls. Maybe Aguilar is like, man, I got to start they're bringing this guy back. I got to start, I don't know. Whatever role he comes in and serves, that's fine. As far as fantasy goes, he's not a guy I'm running out going to get. He's not a guy I'm expecting to light it up. Now, he could do what he did a couple of games last year when we had him, get you your 2 or 3 catches for 70 yards and get a touchdown in. That could happen, but I'm not one that wants to play that guessing game of what game that's going to be.
Well, yeah, I was wondering as a Earth owner what his role would be and how he could help the team because again, this didn't seem like what they needed. Even the help, I think it helps Earth if you have more of a Deshaun Jackson kind of a guy out there.
Absolutely.
I mean, they should just go get someone off the street. As long as he can run, can you run a 4.3? You don't need to catch. All I need is the threat of you catching the ball, and it's going to help. So I don't.
Well, we reached out to Torrey Smith. He said he wanted to stay retired. We tried.
Yeah,
we tried to get some speed.
That wouldn't have been bad. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Stephen A. said we need to go get Antonio Brown. I don't know. I don't personally want it for the locker room, but as far as the speed situation goes. But yeah,
Antonio Brown's not even all that fast. He's he ran 4.5. He's just a technician when it comes down to route running. But yeah, I guess we'll see. All right, man. Who else you got?
Number 2, man, and I actually wrote down here. We'll see if Oli can get behind this.
Okay, all right.
We'll see. It is good old Devontae Parker.
Oh, yeah.
I know that hurts for you, but since week 3, his PPR points, he's had 10, 17, 11, 16, 11, 15. Yeah. He has become pretty safe. He's had 4 touchdowns in the last 6 games.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't get you excited, the playoff schedule, Eagles, Jets, Giants, Cincinnati. I mean, it's right there for him for the taking. I think it's a guy you can get really cheap, and not to mention no Preston Williams. So now those targets are going more to him.
Yep. I was thinking about him today, and I'm reluctant to remove the tag Pupless Parker from him, but we just may have to. He's been very, very good. You can't take that away from him. He's been on the field, number one. That's the first thing. So if you come to work, to work, then that's thing number one. Now you're a receiver. So your second job is to catch the ball, and he's been doing it, man. I can't take that away from him. As a matter of fact, I picked him up in the league. I did it to myself again. I picked him up in the league, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that is an incredible, especially if Week 16 is against the Cincinnati Bengals. That is an incredible opportunity, and as long as Fitzpatrick stays the quarterback, I want to say he'll probably keep doing it, man. So, yeah, he's the guy that you can go get. You can probably get him off of waivers.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Definitely possible to get him off the waivers, especially with him being on the Dolphins. You know, people are like, they're overlooking it. But I will say, you guys that got to listen today, y'all just heard Oli picked him up. Now, look, if he starts doing bad,
it's me?
Oli. You are the one that every time you even said it, every time you try to believe, it's nothing. So now you haven't been believing. He's been doing his thing. You're starting to believe. I'm just saying.
So I might be the bad luck charm, huh? Okay. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll trick him a little bit. I'm going to say I'm going to drop him, and I'm really going to keep him. And then see what happens.
we know he's listening. He's obviously listening.
Obviously. I know he's a fan. He's one of the 3 or 4 that we have every week. So I appreciate the listen there, Devontae. Absolutely. My next one, pick up or trade for Target is Russell Gage and Albert Wilson. We spoke about Wilson a couple of different times in the past. It hasn't quite come to fruition for him. He went to Miami to be the man, but it didn't quite work out. Got hurt, blah blah blah. But now with the injury to Preston Williams, who we both really liked a lot, he should get more playing time and have an opportunity to step up. I like him a lot. Now Gage, he's taken the Mohamed Sanu role in Atlanta. Atlanta runs a heck ton of 3 wide receiver sets, so he should be on the field a lot. I believe he was in on like 70% of snaps the last game. Got something like 7 or 8 targets. And the funny thing about it, a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about waivers, I told everybody, hey, go out there and pick up Justin Hardy. Well, here's the deal. The logic was correct. The person was wrong. So I'm going through the week, and I see Dave pick up Justin Gage in the league. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, maybe he's just getting, just in case. Then there's another league. He picks him up again. I'm like, what is going on? Then the third time I said, oh, shoot, I messed up. I said, there's no way you pick him up 3 times on a whim. I started looking into it, and then all the reports are both kind of saying both of them want to get increased playing time, but Justin Gage appears to be in the league for the third wide receiver. I'm like, God dang it. I picked the wrong, and you didn't share it with nobody. It was all undercover. It was all secret. I'm like, come on, man.
I was just about to say that. I said, man, I should have said something because Russell Gage was really good in the preseason. He had some really good showings.
Okay.
And I actually, when we were talking about on the show, we talked about Justin Hardy. I just remember what Justin Hardy did before, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna be great. I didn't think about Russell Gage until after we got off, and I went and picked him up. And let's be clear, you got him in a league or 2 as well, so I feel like we both kind of held out.
Yeah, once I see you start picking him up, I was like, okay, let me go check it out. So I said, let me pick him up just in case. I had already picked up Justin Hardy. So let me pick up Russell Gage and see which one's going to work out. And it was Russell Gage. So sorry, Joe, that I gave you the wrong guy. Again, the logic was correct. And even the information out there was that Justin Hardy was going to get increased snaps and see a lot more playing time. But Russell Gage is actually the guy that slid into the number 3 role. So sorry about that. Dave didn't tell us, so we can blame him. All right, man. Who else you got?
Yeah. Oh, well, real quick, I just want to say I'm just now looking at this sleeper alert. Trey Edmonds didn't practice today.
Okay.
So we'll look at our situation. Yeah. But, the third guy for me, Jarvis Landry for the Browns. The ugly.
Did you listen to the show last week?
I did not.
Didn't get a chance. Okay. Actually, surprisingly, to a lot of people, he was one of my starts of the week last week. He was my honorable mention. I'm gonna let you go ahead and jump on it, but yeah, and man, I swear we put some good stuff out there sometimes, man. I mean, he came through. I said, listen, Chris Harris is going to lock down OBJ. The middle of the field should be open. I said it verbatim that there should be a lot of targets for Landry. I like him this week. 13 targets last week, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what a call. That's fantastic. Yeah, I was looking at it. Wide receiver 28 on the season. I had no idea that he was that. I mean, he's barely outside of wide receiver 2. He's averaging. I took his averaging 8 targets per game, and then looking at the playoff schedule again: Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Arizona, Baltimore. I mean, if they're going to continue to target him, you can't argue with targets. It's just as far as him catching it. Jarvis has fantastic hands. I know the offense looks ugly. It looks rough. Maybe Kareem Hunt comes in and helps ease that a little bit. Then maybe more targets go to Jarvis. Maybe they settle down, whatever. But I think at this point right now, you can go by Jarvis. I mean, real cheap. Yeah. Maybe not so much after this last game, but I still think you can get him pretty cheap.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a good – I hate to say it. It's making me – it's difficult for me to say he's a good trade for a target because he burned me so badly last year. But I would say
you and Dolphins.
I think it might be it, man. Just the Dolphins leave a bad stench, man. Just fish, you know what I mean? No. I think he can be useful in spots, and you just got to know what spots to play him. And obviously, you want to play him in plus matchups. I wouldn't use him unless you're in a really have a team with a lot of starting players, where you just I can 8 points, 6 points that works. Kind of a thing, then I wouldn't use him as an every week starter, but as a very good and solid bench player you can bring in from time to time, absolutely. I think he could be okay. All right, man. Well, let's go ahead on for the sake of time. We're running at about 40 minutes, so I want to go ahead and run through our starts and sits and see if we can get out of here in 50 minutes so we don't tax the people too long. I'll start the starts and sits off. My first guy here. And I don't talk about him a lot because he's had some rocky ups and downs and all the rest of that great stuff, like a lot of rookies would. But Kyler Murray, he is going up against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is very, very good against stopping the run, but very, very bad against the pass. Tampa Bay in their own right, aside from Jameis Winston, is a pretty decent offense. I mean, he throws 2 or 3 interceptions a game, but he also throws 2 or 3 touchdowns a game, so they score a lot of points. And that is a great recipe for Kyler Murray to have to drop back and get some things done. He's going to get a soft pass defense and a strong run defense, and the other team scores points. So I think he should have to put up some numbers this week.
Absolutely. It's funny. My start of the week is actually on the other side of the ball. Jameis Winston. So I have information. I got information on both. I like everything you said. The Cardinals are the 4th worst passing defense in the league. The Buccaneers are the second worst passing defense in the league. Right. The over/under is about 51 points. So you expect it to be a shootout. You expect it to be throwing all over the place. Just like you said, I actually had that written down. I said, it's hard to expect 0 turnovers from Jameis. Right. But, even with those turnovers, I still like him in this game. I love Kyler Murray in this game as well. Man, I think it'll actually end up being kind of a fun game to watch if you're into no defense and high scoring. It'll be interesting.
Arizona kept it really interesting against the 49ers last week. It was actually a pretty fun game to watch. And anytime Kyler Murray is on the field, he's kind of fun to watch because of his legs. He kind of has that Lamar Jackson kind of a feel, but not exactly. Lamar's a little bit bigger, obviously, so he can do some different things. But he was fast. I remember last year when he was with Oklahoma, and they were going to the college, looking at the teams going to the college playoff championship deal, and I was like, man, I'm not sure if I want Alabama to play Oklahoma. This dude is quick. But yeah, he can get on the horse. But anyhow, good deal. So James is your starter of the week, Kyler my starter of the week. My second start is Mark Ingram. So those of you who listened last week, this may be the first time that I had a sit of the week blow up and have a really good game. He was my sit of the week last week because I didn't like him
with
against.
Good reason.
Yeah, against the. Now I knew again if you listened last week and heard, I know you could run against the Pats defense. I knew that was one of their weak spots, so to speak. I just didn't think he was going to get enough opportunities. Well, he didn't need them. With whatever opportunities he had a really good game. So I'm not going to have it happen to me twice. I'm giving him my start of the week this week, and they're going up against the Bengals, and they can do whatever they want to the Bengals. So he should have a good game.
Yeah. He should definitely have absolutely fantastic game. The only thing that would stop him from having a good game is if Lamar runs for 300 yards.
And that's possible too. I mean, that's possible
it definitely is. Yeah, I think you should have multiple touchdowns from Mark. I don't think there's any point in continuing to harp on how bad the Bengals defense or Bengals as a team is. It is what it is. Mark's going to be fantastic.
Absolutely. Who do you got, man?
Yeah, staying on the running backs, my start of the week is David Montgomery. He has put me on a roller coaster this year with the ups and downs and highs and lows and what have you, but I think Chicago is finally starting to get it. I think they're starting to understand this guy is good. Like we have a good player back there. There's more than Trubisky behind the center. There's another guy back there, and he's actually pretty darn good. The past two games, he had his two highest snap counts from 76, 75%, I think, on the two games. He's the undisputed red zone back. When they get in the red zone, he's back. Yeah. You don't have to worry about Tariq Cohen being out there and they're going to do a flank. It's David Montgomery. They're running the ball hard in those football. Detroit is giving up the 9th most yards to opposing running backs. On the season, running backs have averaged 4.7 yards a carry on the Lions. Yeah. I think it's a plus matchup for David. Not just because we share the same name, but I think he'll be a good start this week.
Yeah. I like David as well. I would say I think Chicago. First off, we've already talked about Mitch a little bit. He's horrible. He's bad. He's not good. He shouldn't be starting. Chase Daniel should probably be starting. I don't like him as a quarterback. I don't think he's a good player. Whatever else you could possibly come up with, okay?
Yeah.
He's not good. And it hurts me a little bit because I spoke about it one time before. I went out and actually got him intentionally thinking he would turn the corner this year, and it has not happened. Neither here nor there. I think he would benefit from Tariq Cohen having some more snaps. Now, I don't think it's going to happen because Montgomery has been doing very well. But he needs somebody to dump the ball off to in the worst of ways.
I
Just
agree.
Here 4 yards. Here's the ball. Do something with it because I cannot pass.
Yeah,
that is it.
I definitely agree.
Yeah. So, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, but this should be a good game from Montgomery. Hopefully he'll tear it up for you, and things look good. My third start of the week is Emmanuel Sanders versus Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle has another weak pass defense. But great offense. Same kind of thing with Kyler Murray. This should spell good fantasy production for the offense for the 49ers. We've seen last week where Arizona was able to actually get in the end zone quite a few times against them. Seattle has a good running game where they could probably run against the 49ers and get some points on the board. As we spoke about earlier, Russell Wilson has been amazing, so the 49ers will have to put some points up against this team to win. And number one receiver in San Francisco is Emmanuel Sanders. He should have a good game.
He should, absolutely. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders, on this show, we've always thought Emmanuel Sanders was a good player. We've always thought he was a great player. Just a bad situation, bad quarterback he was dealing with. He's got a great quarterback, fantastic situation. Like you said, undisputed wide receiver 1 over there. He's been fantastic. There's no reason why he shouldn't continue to be fantastic. Yeah, I'm firing him up wherever I have him and not even thinking twice about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Who else you got?
Number 3 for me, Jamison Crowder, going against the Giants this week.
Yeah.
The Giants are giving up the 7th most receiving yards on the season. Ever since Sam Darnold had his famous seeing ghost line, he has been getting the ball out.
Yeah.
He has been throwing. It's height. I'm stepping back. I'm looking at seemingly Crowder, and I'm throwing it. Like, I'm not going through.
Well, if he's looking at Crowder, he can't be looking at Ghost. So if he's focused on one thing, I'm looking at Crowder. Right. I can't see the other Ghost on the now.
There's no Ghost. Yeah. And I'm gonna throw it before I start even thinking about Ghost.
Right.
I'm gonna throw it.
I don't want to get spooked.
Right.
They killed him about that line. And I totally get what he was saying. He's seeing things that's not there. That's all. But
right. Yeah.
They killed
took that out of proportion. They blew it up, man. Come on now. Let's slow the range.
Yeah, give him a little break.
But Crowder's proved to be the safety blanket for him. Kind of that tight end. What you assume the tight end to take on. That's what Crowder's been for Sam Darnold. Especially this week with the players that you have on bye, for those that are going through, to quote another podcast, Bomageddon.
Yeah.
I think Crowder is a perfect plug and play this week.
Yeah, he was actually one of my trade for candidates or people you can go out there and get a couple of weeks ago, if you remember. I mean, that's about 3 weeks ago. Before Sam Darnold came back.
Right when Darnold was coming back.
And I was like, go and get you some Crowder. And he had 2 really good games and one kind of a stinker. But, I think Crowder's going to be a solid play for the rest of the season. He's definitely a great start. And against, you said they're going to get the Giants, who's a soft defense. So, I like him a lot. All right, let's go ahead and talk about our sit of the week. My sit of the week, and I'm not afraid. That's the thing that you're going to find out about this podcast. I'm not afraid to take on the big names and tell you to sit people I know you want to start. Cooper Kupp is on the bench. Cooper Kupp's going down. That's right. They're going up against they're going up against the Steelers. The Steelers have not been all that bad against slot receivers, and you know they're going to try to take Cooper Kupp away. You know they're going to be on him because no one else has been doing anything. So I think they're going to give extra attention to Cooper Kupp. This should be more of a Robert Woods, maybe even Josh Reynolds kind of a game. Sit your Cooper Kupp. If you have, it's going to be hard to put him in a range. But if you have maybe even a Jamison Crowder or a Cooper Kupp, I think Crowder's going to have a better game. I think Crowder, if you have Mike Williams or Cooper Kupp, I think Mike Williams may be a better play this week. I don't think Cooper Kupp's going to go off. I hear crickets. What's going on?
I have zero analysis to support this. I do not approve of this message.
You don't approve of the message?
But by all means, if you are correct about this, I will shower you with praises.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
There has been teams, I believe teams go in with the game plan of, we got to stop Cooper Kupp, and Cooper says, hey, I'm going for 200. Sorry, I don't really care about your
220. Right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So
I like it. Well, we'll see. I might be wrong, but I think Tomlin is a very, very smart coach. He's been seeing the lack of production with everybody else on the field, including Todd Gurley and Robert Woods. So if we can shut down this Kupp guy, if we can double team him, put one on the bottom, put one on the top, get this guy out of the game, what is Goff going to do? Who's going to throw the ball to? Because he's not throwing to anybody else.
He's going to throw it to him anyway. The defense is going to have to make a play, and we're just going to have to
see how it works. Your 3 against my 1. We'll find out what happens. Yeah, you might be right. I guess we'll see. All right, man. Who's your sit of the week?
I'm going to take a very opposite approach. I'm going to go with a guy that I think is much easier for people to sit, but just in case you're thinking about possibly starting him coming off of a bye, he's looked good these past couple of weeks. Devontae Freeman. Yeah. He's been looking a little better, but they've got the hellacious New Orleans Saints defense this week. I mean, what do I have? I think they're 4th. Saints have allowed. They've only allowed 674 yards in 9 games on the season. Like, goodness, I don't think that Devontae Freeman is the one that, rocks the boat on this one. I also feel like the Saints will come in and I think they're going to destroy the Falcons. I think that running the ball will become a thing of the past for the Falcons game plan very quickly. And I think if between between the Saints shutting the run down and Devontae Freeman getting game planned out of the game, I don't see him having really anything to look forward to.
Yeah, I've not been on the Devonta Freeman train at all this year. He has done a little bit better than expected because of some passing work, but I was not wrong. He's done nothing on the ground. He's not a very good running back anymore, or the team's not very good, or whatever it is. I mean, the OC, the offensive line, there's a lot of things going against him there, but I was not on his he wasn't on my radar at all at the beginning of the season. He's one of those do not draft guys. Like I said, he's done a little better than I thought, but yeah, I'll definitely be trying to sit him this week. All right, man. I got a couple of either or things that we got to get out of here. If you got one, we'll see what you got. So I have in one league almost an embarrassment of riches. I picked them up because I didn't know who was going to do what, who was going to be good. So I got 3 quarterbacks. I need to know which one to start. I got Kyler versus Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston versus Arizona, and I think I may have already answered that. But then I got Lamar going against Cincinnati.
Oh, Lamar. I refuse to sit Lamar for anybody.
Okay.
At this point, it doesn't matter. For me, I've gotten to the point where
Jimmy Garoppolo threw four touchdowns against Arizona last week.
I know. I understand all that, and I get the matchup. I do. But when I'm looking at 3 good matchups, I'm going to take who I feel is the best quarterback out of that situation, and I've got to go.
Lamar Jackson.
Personally, I got to go with Lamar. I think no, I'm not even going to think too much. It's Lamar. That's what you're doing right now. You're thinking too much.
Yeah, man, it's all these great matchups, man. You don't get nothing like this
typically. Out there. Man,
okay.
You're supposed to get people on your team and I'm not saying obviously CMC is otherworldly, but I'm saying you're supposed to get people on your team like that where you're like, man, I'm rolling him down, I'm looking on at something else. I ain't about to sit here looking at that. Right. That's what Lamar is in this.
Okay. Plug and play. Plug and play.
Yeah,
I got you. All right, he's in the lineup. Good deal. All right, man, you got a couple or you're good?
Yes, I have one. If Jacoby Brissett plays this week against the Dolphins, if he plays, is it even, do I even think about sitting him for Josh Allen against the Browns?
Josh Allen has not been as good as I thought he was going to be this year. Yeah, you roll Brissett out there. Yeah, I'll go Brissett. Yeah, if he's healthy enough to play, he gets in a couple of practices before the end of the week. He said he's good to go. Yeah, I think I will go Brissett. Yeah.
My theory is if he is healthy enough to play, they're going against Miami. If anything happens to aggravate it, I think they shut it down, and Brian Hoyer plays the rest of the game with it being the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And then needs Jacoby.
That's a tough one. I mean, if you want to go safe, I think Josh Allen's a safe 15 points. If you want the 3 touchdowns, you got to go with Brissett if he plays. So it probably depends on your week. I'm a safe kind of a guy. I'm typically a safe kind of a guy, so I may roll Allen out there with those considerations. But if you want to go for the gusto, I think Brissett is the way to go if he plays. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
All right, man. I got one here, and it's kind of funny you brought him up. I picked up both Parker and Pascal off waivers. Who do you play this?
Oh, I'm going with Pascal. I'm going with Pascal. There's no Ty, but it's the same thing. If Brissett is playing, I'm going with Pascal, no question. I think Brian Hoyer still got the ball to Pascal, if I'm not mistaken, but I think Hoyer looked more to Jack Doyle. I think that was more of his guy throughout the game. So if Brissett's playing, Pascal. If he's not playing, it's close, and I might give the edge to Pascal
just a little bit.
And I don't have analysis to tell you why. I just do. I don't. Okay. It's one of those things for me. I would rather be burned by
Pascal and Parker.
sitting. Yeah. I would, if I played Parker and he did bad, I'd be infuriated.
Yeah.
If I play Pascal and he does bad, I'm like, that's the obvious play against the Dolphins. It makes sense.
Well, I'm glad you picked Pascal because he goes on to round 2, the championship round. Pascal or Woods, Robert Woods. Because this is the decision I got in this league. Yeah. Robert Woods, Pascal, or Parker.
Woods. I know he hasn't been.
Wow.
Great, but for me, I think it's probably shocking that I answered so quickly. But I like Woods. I know Cooper Kupp's the guy over there, but it's the Steelers. You know, we're looking at a matchup, and yes, we're looking at a matchup with Miami. I guess for me on this one, it's just talent trumps. I think Robert Woods is better than Pascal. I think I go with the higher powered offense.
Okay. So Robert Woods and Kenyon Drake are still on the table for Tyreek Hill.
All right. If you can't dodge a wrench.
See, that's not your line. You did it all wrong. But we're going to get it out of here, folks. And as always, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. It's been scientifically proven. Dave, do you got anything else for the people tonight?
Yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy your football, man. We're out.
Absolutely. Signing off.